my lovelies, welcome to my channel Lifeforce Unlimited. I hope you're all doing well. This is a reading meditation, I'm not quite sure what yet, for the new moon in Virgo on Friday the 30th of August. So I've sat and meditated and tuned in, and I said to the universe, may I have a word please? And they've literally given me one. So they said, look in the dictionary. So I got my Collins English dictionary out, and I've flicked through the pages, and where it stopped, the word is lustre, L-U-S-T-R-E, or in the American L-U-S-T-E-R, and it actually means shiny, shimmering illumination. And there are many things that hold this illumination, this light, this glimmering. Lustre is a gentle sheen or soft glow. The manner in which the surface of a mineral reflects light. When we're not reflecting the light, something's playing with me camera. I've tried this a couple of times, so I'm not quite sure what's happening here, but the luster seems to have disappeared, but we've got the little fairy lights showing up. Come on, mates, where are you? Thank you. That's a bit better. And so talking about the new moon, when a moon is new, we don't see it for about 3 days because it's literally sitting right next to the sun. And it's getting charged up, so it's gone in for a well, not exactly a bit of a rest, but it's been working all month and waxing and waning and waxing again and waning again. So the luster of our lives might seem to be a little bit not as shiny or glimmery as it has been, but because the moon is getting charged up again, recharging itself, sitting next to the sun, the energy of the sun is giving it a bit of a boost. And so as it leaves its close connection after about 3 days, that's when we'll be seeing it in the sky again as a little crescent. So my sense of this message is that some of us who've been feeling a bit wiped out by the energy through June and July, August seems to have been a bit faster, especially as it has for me, that's for sure. And I've packed more into August than I did in June and July. So this is a time for us to recharge our batteries, literally recharge our batteries over this coming weekend, and to go within. So that shine, that glow, that glimmer, that luster within us needs to be contacted again, needs to be brought to light, literally brought to light. And if you've been giving out an awful lot of your energy to others in this last 3 months or so, this is that ability to say, no, I'm not available. I'm just going to have a quiet time this weekend. I'm just going to chill, not giving of yourself to other people, giving of yourself to you. So there's also lustre is a fabric or yarn with a sheen. It's a thin dress material. It's a prismatic glass pendant on a chandelier. It's a cut glass chandelier or candelabra. So if you think of the little droplets of glass on a chandelier, they are very much like an icicle. So I'm getting told off now because I had flicked through the dictionary before and I got the word icicle, and I thought, no, that doesn't feel right. No. And now they're telling me, well, yes, it does, because icicles have a luster to themselves and a shimmer and a shine, and especially if they are part of a candelabra, those lovely little droplets that you see that are lit up. Nowadays, usually by electric bulbs, but originally it would have been candlelight. And so the luster that you see from a candle is very, very different to the light you see from a light bulb. All right. They're also showing me now a torch, or a flashlight, as they say in the US today. So it seems to be that there's a little bit of a search going on. Soul searching, looking within. Now, I know for myself, for the last 3 months, I've been doing some deep, deep soul searching, and an awful lot of things have come to light. But my sense of this is, and the icicle and the lustre, is that this seems to be a short and sweet investigation. It's not like light-hearted. I mean, it is wholehearted to go and look at the have you got all the lights switched on with inside you? Do you need to do you need to change any light bulbs? Do you need to polish up anything? I'm hearing Elton John's song, Like a Candle in the Wind. So if there's certain areas of your life which have been dimmed, which have been darkened, which have been in shadow, it's a good time now to get the torch or the flashlight out, and just gently, very gently, investigate what that shadow or that darkness is about. And I'm hearing very strongly, it's just 3 days. It's 3 days. It's no more than that. It's just 3 days. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, 30th of August, 31st and 1st of September. So there's a shift of energies. Always, as we have a new moon. New moons are always new beginnings. Time to start something new. But a good idea is to make preparation before you start something new. I've literally just tidied up the garden and taken down all the runner bean poles. Cleared all that away because there's no more beans. Done the same with the peas, same with the mange too. I thought I'd try and eke it out a little bit longer, but there was just nothing left there, and it was just dead leaves and stringy stalks. And having done that, I've made space to plant something new. So I can literally plant new seeds tomorrow, and metaphorically speaking as well. But what I did notice today, as I've cleared away all of that, those vegetables, the first of my sweet peas, and they're very late, they're very, very late, end of August. And there are 3 little flowers on them, a pink, a yellow, a pink, and a deep purpley one. So that feels like an ending of a cycle and a beginning of a new one. So I'm looking forward to these beautiful sweet peas flowering and blossoming, and be able to cut them and bring them into the house, and the smell of them, apart from the look of them, will hopefully see me through the next couple of weeks at least. Because there's already that feeling of, oh, we're heading into autumn, summer's over, and trying to hang on to the last rays of sunshine, and that feeling of got to put socks on again, or wearing long sleeves again. So there's a sense of something coming to a conclusion and something new beginning. And my feeling for you guys is there's something very strong, very powerful wants to emerge from us as individuals, but also in a collective, something strong and powerful wants to emerge. But if we're not ready for it, we may not recognize it, we may not acknowledge it, we may not even see it. So whatever you find yourself doing this weekend, whether it's outside, say in the garden like I've just said, this is also working on yourself in the gentlest of ways, because the Virgo energy is about self-care, our well-being, our mental health, giving ourselves time to clear out things that we've been holding on to, and that can include cleaning out the cupboards and your wardrobes and getting rid of stuff you can't get into anymore. I've certainly done that, and making space, making room for lovely new things to come into your life, however that takes shape. Also, with this new moon energy, soon the kids will be going back to school, but maybe for some of us adults, it's time to look at, well, oh, maybe I'd like to learn something new. Maybe I'd like to go to evening class or start a new course or do a bit of research into something that you may have had a little bit of an interest in and see where that takes you. So there are many opportunities coming up for us to change things quite dramatically in our lives. Resisting change leaves us stagnant, leaves us the energy around us sterile, so nothing can grow. A lot of people don't like change. It makes them feel uncomfortable, unstable. But this energy is pushing us, nudging us to change. If we resist, then our bodies will tell us, you have to change, you have to do something about this. So with the well-being and the self-care of the Virgo energy, it's also looking at the food that we eat, the relationships that are around us, and looking at detoxing our bodies and perhaps detoxing our relationships, our friendships. Because sometimes we can carry on with habits, old habits, that have become harmful to us in some shape or form. And a part of us will resist changing that or letting it go, or taking steps to shift just one little thing. So I've found in the past that if I change just one thing in my life, other stuff starts to change automatically. And it's not being afraid to say goodbye, farewell, auf Wiedersehen, tschüss, to people or situations around you. Things do carry on. The world carries on. The fear of change can be so overwhelming for people that they will stay in situations that are detrimental to their mental health, their physical health, their emotional health. But something can come along which will shake you out of that. And I feel that this energy of, as we're moving into September, is a time to, oh, I'm hearing the word recalibrate. So when we calibrate something, we measure it, we see where we are along a certain pathway or roadway or area of our lives. So if you've just been at that end and you like to get to that end, what would it take to get you there? So I found that by asking the universe an open-ended question, like what would it take for me to get from there to there, and then just allow something to show up, because that's not the sort of question your logical brain would ask. It would want to know how, why, when, how much. Whereas your right brain is much more intuitive, and when you put an open-ended question out there to the universe, you're not limiting yourself, you're not preventing yourself from receiving whatever it is from only one source or one direction. And by having an open-ended question, it might be something that you never even thought of. It never possibly came into your mind how something can show up the way that it will. And this is a practice. We are so used to doing things in certain ways because that's how we were brought up, that's how we were taught, that's how we were programmed, that's what we believe. And so to change your belief system, to let go of old programming, takes a bit of effort. And when you find yourself thinking along old ways of doing things, old habits, old beliefs, you can train yourself to just catch that thought and say, oh, hang on a minute, that's how I have been doing it. Let's see if we can change that thought to something that's much more open-ended, limitless, that brings the luster back into my life. Right now I'm being shown a beautiful, like an embossed book, a leather-bound book with it looks like gold writing on the front of it, and it's so the story of your life, but it's like in fairy tale form. And as it opens up and you're looking at all the various stories and the fairy tales and the beautiful illuminated pages, illuminated pages. I don't know if they still make them, but there's some pop-up books for kids, and that's what I'm being shown, that as certain pages are being turned, certain pictures pop up, like the characters, but they represent you and various other people in your life. And it's looking at them in a very different way. Yes, they're just like sort of little bits of cardboard with paint on them, but they can move around. It's a bit like in the Harry Potter films when they showed you the paintings on the wall, everybody's still moving, or looked at the pictures in the newspaper, everybody's still moving. So it's that ability to be the observer, to stand back and look at various things that have popped up in your life. When you turn the page, it's flattened again, until you turn another page and boom, something else pops up. And it will continue to do that, things popping up in your life, until you pay attention to it, and then shift it and change it. So everything we pay attention to changes. You will give it energy and it will change. When you don't pay attention to things, you just push them away and leave them in an unopened book, that can sit within you for years and years and years. And it can stagnate, and it can not see the light. So it's interesting that I was told to look through the dictionary, and the word that came to light is about light. Lustre, illumination, a bringing of like switching a light on, bringing light to the subject. And so there may be times over the next 3 days where you will see things in a different light. Things might become illuminated. In the last week, I've made a couple of videos with my cat when it was pitch dark, and all these orbs appeared around her, whizzing around all over the place. And so they are forms of lustre, illumination. So you may find in the quietest of times you see something out of the corner of your eye, or you're looking at someone and suddenly there's this huge light appears around them. Because when I was filming the little cat, first of all the orbs showed up just on the camera, but then I actually saw them with my own eyes. I thought, wow, how did that happen? I thought you could only catch them on the with the camera, but no, they were there as well, in the room. And so something has shifted within me in these last few weeks, and I've had a few downloads of information and such, like one of which said our abilities to sense things are becoming heightened. And one of the things is with the third eye, and not just the third eye but our actual eyes as well, is to have telescopic vision. So to be able to see without glasses, without contact lenses, without a telescope, see into the far distance just with your eyes. So seeing these orbs without the camera, I thought, oh, okay, I rather like that. That's a unexpected, but I was told about it, so I know that it's already happening for me. And when we talk about telepathy, being able to pick up with people's thoughts, etc., and you can have a conversation with someone across the world without Wi-Fi or Skype or anything else like that, that you can just tune into another person and literally have a conversation in your head. So you're able to hear on a much deeper level. And when we talk about sensitive souls and empaths, or have a bugbear, it's being empathic, not empathetic. Empathic. So when we are empathic, we have empathy with others. So it's a high vibrational energy that we can feel everything that's going on in a situation, in a room, without anybody actually having to say anything. Now, for some people who are very sensitive, who are empaths, it can be overwhelming because you are literally taking other people's energies or absorbing other people's energies, perhaps without realizing it. And for some people who are just awakening, they're getting all this information coming to them and don't know what to do with it. It can be very disconcerting. It can be frightening. So it is important that as you awaken to all these new, strange and wonderful things happening around you, is that you are aware that you have guardians, that you have guides. You're also in charge, so to be able to say, well, can you turn it down a bit, please? I had a message from someone on Facebook the other day who was at his wit's end. He said, how much longer is this going to go on? I can't sleep, I can't function. All of these apparently negative symptoms for ascension. And a lot of people don't realise you can turn it down. You can ask your guides to pull back a bit, to make it less intense. If you're still willing to participate, which I'm sure a lot of people are, we want to know, where are we going, what's all this awakening ascension energy about, but you're not without power. So it's not about being manipulated by aliens or spirits or anything else. It is about us becoming empowered, raising our vibration, raising our consciousness to a much higher level, where we can use these abilities that are part of us, that have been dormant for a very long time. So it's a bit like the dimmer switch, again coming back to the illumination and the lustre. You have your own dimmer switch inside you. And when you start to work with this energy, with your guides, with your angels, we have free will, so they're not allowed to interfere. But some of us can be so enthusiastic and gung-ho and think, oh yes, it's great, I'm really enjoying this, it's amazing. And then you get walloped by an upgrade or a download or something, and you're floored for a week or such like, or you can't sleep. Remember that you do have within you the ability to shut the door, hit the dimmer switch, ask your team to go at a slightly slower pace, because it is outside some people's comfort zones. It is so new, so different. You can feel lost, you can feel lonely, you can feel abandoned, and your family, your friends think you're going bonkers, and nobody understands you. I've been doing this since I was 4 years old. My family still don't understand me, or still think I'm bonkers. And I also know that at 4 years old, things changed very differently in my life, because what is called a walk-in came into my physical body, and the soul that was Amanda at the time said, right, I don't want to stick around. And so I allowed this different soul, this different energy to come in. And the reason for it was that as a light worker, sensitive soul, empath, my mother's physical human body could not have coped with giving birth to me as I am now. So when I was born as Amanda, I grew up till I was 4, as Amanda. And so my mother had managed to give birth to me as that person, but at 4 years old I had a soul agreement that this other energy would come in and would take it from there, and the other energy left. So it wasn't as though I got to fall and thought, right, that's it, I don't want to be here anymore. It was an agreement. But then that part of me that was the walk-in had no memories of anything prior to that. I still, to this day, have no memories of me before 4 years old. Although I took on everything associated with that person who I was. I'd also had this feeling of not being part of them, not being part of that family. Don't belong there, don't belong with them. And even my mother used to say I was left on the doorstep by the gypsies, because I was so very different. So, and I see that as a compliment, but at the time it was hard to hear. Also, I wanted to share a little bit about the youngsters, the kids that are showing up, because I came across a few just recently, delightful little souls, and their parents told me that they've been labelled as ADD and ADHD, and to me they're not at all. They have extraordinary abilities. They've come in on the crystal rays, rainbow children, crystal children, platinum children. They've come in ready programmed. They already have abilities. They've come in to change the world. And the parents of these two gorgeous kids said they'd refused medication from the doctors. And I thought, oh, that's wonderful. That's so brave. That is amazing. A love they have for the kids. Amazing insights to say no. And so hopefully I'm going to be working with them soon, the whole family, to see if we can't give them all an understanding of the energies that they've come in with, what it is they've come to do, to support the parents with any further diagnosis or interference or manipulation from the health service. And I think that's one of the avenues I will be taking in my not too distant future. But I've been pointed in another direction. And some of you may know that I do psychic art and inspirational art, and I've shown you one or two of my paintings. I just wanted to show you this drawing. I had a client come and wanted a drawing of a spirit guide, and so this face showed up, and when I tuned into him, it's actually the spirit of an unborn child. He hasn't arrived yet. He will. He didn't he hasn't been conceived yet, but he has yet to appear on the planet. So I just wanted to show you. See that? And so there are waves of volunteers, waves of light workers, more spirits, more souls wanting to come in to assist with this awakening, with this ascension energy. And any of you who are watching who have youngsters, who have kids who others have tried to label or diagnose with disorderly behaviour and such like, the majority of them are coming in with this new wave of light workers or volunteers, and they are already ready programmed. They don't need to study, but the teachers say they must. I know quite a few of them who in a class will be given an equation and immediately give an answer, and the teacher says, well, how do you know that? I says, well, it's right, isn't it? And the teacher says, yes, but you have to show it, you have to write it down and show us how you got it. And they said, but why? It's right. And so there's a need for a change in the way that our children are being educated, that those who have these abilities are honoured and respected. And the shift will occur because there are so many amazing young people out there now. And when it hits critical mass, then a new way of education, a new way of teaching will emerge. So I feel that part of my role as a spiritual midwife, as an intuitive energy healer, is to help and guide some of these kids along their pathway. So I've rambled on. I've rambled on a bit for you. I hope some of it makes sense to you. As of tomorrow, the 30th of August, I'm going to relaunch my YouTube channel. I've already filmed it, and I'm going to upload an intuitive energy healing session with one of my clients to show you how I work in that respect. She's volunteered, which is wonderful, and she's allowed me to film her. And so I might do 3 or 4 sessions with her, but you'll see the initial one tomorrow. And so we see how that unfolds over the coming weeks and such like. So I love you and leave you. Thank you for watching. Before I go, on a new moon, if you write down some new moon wishes, whatever it is you would like to bring into your life, onto the planet. Wishes is a lovely wishing for something is a lovely thing to do. However, if you word it in such a way to say you've already got it, it's already arrived, so it's like a gratitude list. So thank you, dear universe, for my lovely new job. Thank you, dear universe, for my amazing new opportunity to travel abroad. Thank you, dear universe, for my wonderful new relationship, etc., etc. So make it a gratitude list and write as many as you like. You can fold it up, stick it under your pillow, or put it in a box. Keep it somewhere safe. Some people even burn them. That could be if you usually want to get rid of something. But yeah, do your new moon wishes. And by the time we get to the next new moon, you can see how many of them are actually manifested. So anyway, love you and leave you. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.